Hey there, and welcome to another episode of your favorite libertarian. Today's episode we're going to be featuring this guy, the M&P 1522. If you haven't already seen the video, check it out. There's a full breakdown of this particular gun, and I even do some comparisons between the internal workings of this setup and how it's similar and different to a regular AR-15. So check that out. I'll link it up here somewhere. Also, we are going to be switching out this optic, which is the Bushnell TR25, for the Holosun 403R. Now, if you're wondering if I also have a review on this optic, I do, and I'll link it up here somewhere, very in-depth as well. Check both of those out, but only after you watch this video, of course. The reason that I'm switching it out is because while I've had this a long time, I think this was the first red dot I ever bought, I've had it 15 plus years, it is starting to show its age. The battery life isn't as good as the modern optics out there, and the glass clarity is not great. You can see how blue that is, and the dot itself is kind of more like a tadpole shape than it is an actual dot. So we're going to be switching this out for something else, and we are going to be testing it at the range. So first we'll go to the carpet, do our thing there, and then we'll take it to the range. First things first, we have to take off this old red dot. This one's actually pretty easy. It's got a spring tensioned knob to twist and then comes right off. Goodbye. And now for the new hotness. If you want to know all the things that come with packaging of this, again, watch the review of this particular optic. I'm just going to go around and witness mark all the screws attaching the optic to the mount. Since this is a 22, we're not going to use Vibratite. We're just going to use blue Loctite, and that should hold it in place quite nicely. After applying some to the threads, we're going to go ahead and lightly clamp it on, tap it forward against the pick rail so that it's nice and secure, and tighten it down. We did it! Now we'll witness mark both sides of the screw so we can see if it's walking out under recoil. Terrific. All right, now that we've switched out the optic for the Holosun 403R, we're going to be taking it to the range to test it out. This is all witness marked so that I know none of the screws are walking loose under the harsh and intense recoil that a 22 provides. But seriously, we want to make sure that this isn't moving around so that as we are setting our zero, it's not shifting at all. I'm going to see how it goes, but I'm going to be shooting this at 10 yards to try to get a rough 50 yard zero. Then I'll confirm at 50 yards. And then after that, I'm going to try to stretch this all the way out to 200. We'll see how that goes though. Stay tuned. Now it's time for the range recap. So you saw the footage, you saw that at the 10-yard mark for the 50-yard, 10-yard, zero target, that the rounds were all touching each other, which is good. Typically, though, I have them through the same hole at that distance, so that was a bit concerning. I will say for that and the 50-yard groupings, there are a couple of factors. If you've seen my previous videos where I'm shooting like a 10-inch AR with 5.56 green tip, you know that I'm shooting at 200 yards and I'm able to get at least 3 or 4 rounds within the same hole, or at least touching each other. So I don't think it was me as far as the variable goes, but we have some old ammunition. I mean, the ammunition said Remington standard velocity, whatever that means. Don't know if it was 40 grain or what grain it was, because that wasn't listed on the box either. It's just old ammunition too, which could have some inconsistencies in the loading. Also, the barrel, I'm sure that the velocity coming out of an 8-inch barrel is less than a full 16-inch barrel. So the fact that it's going slower could be more affected by wind, as it is also a super light round. And as you saw in the video, there was wind, crosswinds going back and forth. So at least I would be able to eliminate the wind variable if I shot it indoors. So I'm going to be doing that, shooting this indoors at 50 yards to see if that helps at all. And eventually I'll be moving into like CCI, which I have some of that. And I also ordered some Celat and Beloy, or Celler and Beloy, 40 grain ammunition. So I'll have that to test as well, but I wanted to zero it with the ammo that I had a lot of at the time, which was the old ammunition that I'm shooting through until I start shooting my newer ammunition. Take that for what it's worth. It sounds like I'm just in like a big case of excuses, but I wanted to give you the different variables, and you make your own judgments. I don't care if you think I suck at shooting, that's fine. But I can just tell you from the other videos that I have where I'm shooting at up to 200 yards with something that has a higher caliber, a little bit heavier of a bullet, and pretty close to the same length of barrel, I'm getting better accuracy than this. So it could be the gun itself, it could be the ammunition, it could be the wind affecting that ammunition, or it could be me. It is always a possibility that it's me, but the way that I was shooting that day, I don't think it was actually me. I think it was one of the other variables. You decide in the comments below. As far as zeroing with this optic was concerned, I didn't have any screws walk out. All of the witness marks stayed where they were supposed to, and it held zero once I actually got it to the zero that I wanted. I will say that because this is not factory set for a 8-inch barrel shooting 22 long rifle, it took quite a few clicks. I want to say elevation was around 20 clicks, because this was shooting super low at those distances, and then it was shooting to the left quite a bit. So I want to say like 10 to 15 clicks to the right just to get it centered and at the correct elevation. Quite to my surprise, this actually stayed on and held zero. And the reason I'm surprised is because this is a plastic upper. So you're mounting this metal mount onto this plastic. There's obviously no torque spec for this, because any torque spec would be for a metal upper receiver or aluminum upper receiver. And this is basically just as tight as I thought it was supposed to be based on just hand tightening it, using blue Loctite and witness marking. Again, super surprised that this actually held zero, but I'll take it. Reliability. So as far as reliability goes for this gun, A+ so far. I shot at least 100 rounds through this because I had 4 mags loaded up that I brought to the range, and then probably an additional 25 to 50 rounds, so like around 150 rounds-ish. I haven't ever cleaned this since I bought it, and I also took this on another range trip with a bunch of garbage, random shorts and long rifle 22s to shoot through this. Some of them were like super corroded, and it ate most of that up too. So no failures to feed, no failures to eject, no light primer strikes for all the Remington that I was shooting today. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Hey, that's going to be it for this video for the most part. I do want to tell you a few more things though. One is that if you found this video informative and you liked it, be sure to like it. That helps a lot. If you have not yet subscribed, what are you doing? It's free and you're loving the content, so you might as well keep watching, right? Subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time some new footage comes out on this guy and all the various other content that I do here on the channel. your favorite libertarian. I'm hoping to have some quieter content in the future on this guy, but stay tuned. We're gonna see how all that goes. Who knows what's gonna happen with three-letter entity agencies and the courts. Either way, do all that algorithm stuff. That really helps. And also what really super duper helps is going to my affiliate links in the description and in the pinned comment below. Shopping those links, you can buy some awesome stuff, get some awesome deals, and it really helps me out. Thanks in advance. You guys are awesome. And as always, thanks for watching. Stay free. God bless.